Good morning, class. So today we'll do some more questions of exercise 7.7. Clear? Now the next question is, just see, x square plus 3x only is there. We are having x square plus 3x. So again, what we have to do? It is 3x, it is not 3. So we have to make it a perfect square. How can we make it a perfect square? Yesterday also I told you. X square plus what we are having? We are having a square plus 2ab, 2 into x into what we are having? We want 3x here. We want 3x. So if I write 3 by 2 as b, if I write 3 by 2 as b, so what we can get? 2 will get cancelled with this 2. So you will have 3x only. So what is your, what will be your b? What will be your b? So you can write this as x square plus 2 into x into 3 by 2 plus 3 by 2. You are having 3 by 2 as b, so 3 by 2 whole square minus 3 by 2 whole square. We can write this way. Clear? That only you can see it is in square root. I have not written square root, so square root you can write by yourself. You can see x square plus 3x minus 3 by 2 whole square plus 3 by 2. I have break this 3 by 3x so that you should know why I have done this, to make it a perfect square. Now you can see this. This one is what? Square of, or you can take x square plus 3x. You can take x square plus 3x plus 3 by 2 whole square. Clear? So this will be what? X plus 3 by 2 whole square minus 3 by 2. So what you are getting inside root, you are getting the formula. Wait a minute. You are getting the formula. What? X square. Sorry. Formula x square minus a square, where your x is equal to x plus 3 by 2 and your a is equal to 3 by 2. X square minus a square, where a is 3 by 2 and your x is x plus 3 by 2. Clear? Just you have to substitute the formula. You all know what is the formula of x square minus a square. So your answer will be what? X upon 2. This will be your x upon 2, x plus 3 by 2 by 2. Here, x upon 2, and then under root of the same thing, under root of x square minus a square. They have written x square minus a square minus a square by 2. What is a square? A square will be 9 by 4. 3 by 2 is a, then a square will be 9 by 4. A square by 2 into 2. So 9 into 4 by 2 log of x plus x square plus a square. Now what you have to write? The same thing. Now x, why they have written x square plus 3x? Because x square plus 3x is only equal to this value. Clear? So either you write this way or you write this also, then also it will be correct. Clear? Come to the next question. Plus c we always write. So I'm not saying plus c. You please write down plus c every time. Now is next one is 1 plus x square plus 9. Now just see, we are having in the denominator 9. What I told you, the coefficient of x should always be 1. Now here the coefficient of x is what? Coefficient of x is what? 1 by 3 x square. Coefficient of x square is 9 and coefficient of x we can say is 1 by 3. So we cannot take this. So what we will do? Again we will take LCM. LCM when we will take, we will have 9 plus x square upon 9. Now this root 9 can be taken outside as 3. Clear? We will get what? 9 plus x square. 9 plus x square can be written as root 3, 3 square plus x square. Now you are getting the formula of x square, x square plus a square. Formula of x square plus a square is again the same. X upon 2, x is the same x upon 2. 1 by 3 will remain outside. You can take 1 by 3 here also. Bracket, and you can take 1 by 3 common also, but they have taken 1 by 3 like this only. Yeah. So 1 upon 3 as it is. This 1 by 3 as it is, x upon 2, a square plus x square plus a square by 2. What is a square by 2? A square is 9 by 2 and this 3 common came here also. Log of x plus x square plus a square. Well, so direct formulas are there. If you know the formulas, basically what mistake students do, they get confused in the formula. So main thing is practice a lot. Practice a lot, then the formulas will be on your tips. Clear? Now this way we have completed the indefinite integral part. We have completed the indefinite integral part. Now we'll start with the definite integral. Now, what is the difference between definite and indefinite integral? What is the difference between it? Just see. Just see what we are having. In indefinite integral, we don't put the limit. We write like x dx. If we are having the function x dx, we write like this. But in definite integral, we specify the limit from a to b x dx. What does it mean? A to b x dx. What does it mean? You get the integral of it. Suppose the integration of this is fx. Suppose when we integrate this function, we get fx. Clear? Integrating this function, we are getting the same thing, fx, because the function is the same. Now here we will leave this plus c here, but here we will get a definite value. We will never write plus c. Constant we will never write, because it will have one answer only. So integration will be from a to b. Means after integrating, you will put the limit. And what does it mean? This can be written as f of b minus f of a. F of b minus f of a. This will give you the integration when you are doing definite integral. We are talking about definite integral. In definite integral, we specify the limit, and how we specify the limit and what is the meaning of it. Let me explain you that also. Suppose you are having, suppose this is your function y is equal to fx. This is your function y is equal to fx. Clear? Now, in indefinite integral, so we were not specifying any limit, but here we are having the limit from x is equal to a to x is equal to b. X is equal to a, this is your point, and this is your point, x is equal to b. So what it is going to give you, definite integral, it will give you the area under this curve. The area under this curve will be given by this. Clear? So it will give you what? Area under the curve y is equal to fx. Area under the curve, how it will give area under the curve? This will also come, this no. With the limits. With the limits what? This line x is equal to a, with this line x is equal to b, and the x-axis. So area under the curve with the limits x is equal to a, x is equal to b, and x-axis. Clear? Same way, if we are having y dy, then the limits will change from y is equal to a to y is equal to b. The graph will change, things will change. Only this much will be there. These all things we will learn in the next chapter, application of integration. Actually, in application of integration, you will find the area under the curves only in the next chapter. But you should know what is definite integral. Definite integral, like I told you earlier also, in indefinite integrals, just see when we are having x square plus 3, x square plus 3, clear? X square plus 5, x square plus 7, or x square plus any constant. Clear? Is that clear? Just see, if this is the integration of some function, its differentiation will be what? If I differentiate it, what I'm going to get? When I am differentiating it, what I'm going to get? 2x. After differentiation of this also 2x. After differentiation of this also 2x, because the constant differentiation is what? 0. So when I integrate this, if I move this away, so what I'm going to get? 2x, integration of 2x. If I move in the opposite direction, integration of 2x will be equal to what? 2x will be equal to what? 2 times x, integration will be x square by 2, plus we used to write c. Why we used to write c? Because we don't know x square plus c, x square plus 3 will come, or 5 will come, or 7 will come, or 100 will come. But this was an indefinite integral, that's why we used to write c. But in definite integral, we always get a perfect value. Clear? There is no c kind of value, there is no constant which will change. It will give you, means for every differentiation you will get a perfect integration only. Clear? Only one and only one integration, because what we are doing, we are specifying the limit, so you will get a perfect value. Clear? This is the only difference. And what integration gives you? What integration gives you? It gives you the integration gives you the area under that curve with the ordinates x is equal to a, x is equal to b, and the x-axis. Now there are some properties. Definite integral is very easy, because indefinite, if you have studied, you know all the formulas. First, what you have to do, first part is what? If you are having an definite integral a to b fx, the first part is what? Integrated. First part is what? Integrated. After integration only you will apply, suppose capital Fx is the integration of this, then you will apply the limits a to b. So integration you have studied. So you know all the formulas of integration. The first part is always what? Integrated, then put the limits. Clear? One thing. Now for making it more easier, definite integral, we are having some properties which will make it very easy. The questions will be very easy while using the properties. Means if you will integrate it by these properties, the integration part will be very simple. Now we will move to the properties. What are the properties of integration? Just see your first property. This definite in the properties. These are what? Properties. Now just see the first property. A to b fx dx can be written as a to b fx minus a b to a. Now what they have done here? Just see what they have done. A to b fx dx can be written as minus. Now they have changed the limits. In the first property, what they have done? They have just changed the limits. Here we are having a to b, here we are having b to a. Clear? You can prove it also. What is a to b fx dx? If integration is fx, so it will be f of b minus f of a. Suppose this fx is the capital Fx is the, this is small fx, this capital Fx is the integration, then what we will put? Capital Fx b to a to b. So we'll put the limit first b, then a. So f of b minus f of a. This will be your answer in the LHS. Now just see the RHS. Now just see the RHS. What we are having? Minus this b to a, minus sign as it is. Now integration of fx, suppose again it is what? F of capital F of, wait a minute, capital F of x. It is what? Capital F of x. Then integration will be equal to what? Because the function is the same, fx or this function is the same. So now integration is limit is from b to a, but we are having minus sign here. Just see, minus of, again what we can write? F of a minus f of b. Clear? Now when you will open the bracket, what you are going to get? Minus fa plus fb, which is equal to f of b minus f of a. So you write this way or that way, because in some questions, if you will change this limit, you will get the answer very quickly. When you will do the questions, then you will understand the properties. Right now we will just do the properties. When we will apply the properties one by one, then you will come to know how they are being applied and how they are being useful also. Clear? Then next property is your a to b fx dx is equal to a to c fx dx and c to b fx dx. Now what does it mean? I told you, when you are having a graph fx, y is equal to fx, it gives you what? It gives you the area under this curve. Clear? We are having x is equal to a here and x is equal to b here. Suppose we are taking a third point, x is equal to c. This is your third point, x is equal to c. So can we divide this into two parts? Area under this part. Wait. Can we divide it into this part? These two parts. Clear? Now this will be your first part, this will be your second part. So we can write this way: a to c fx dx, and then c to b, a to c fx dx, then c to b fx dx. So what we have done basically is, just see, if we are having this way, this is your graph, this is your x is equal to a, this is your x is equal to b. What we have taken? We have taken a point, x is equal to c. Now we can divide this into two parts. Clear? Now we can integrate into two parts from x is equal to a to x is equal to c, then x is equal to c to x is equal to b. It will also give you the same thing. X is equal to a to c will give you this area, and x is equal to c to b will give you this area. Clear? That is all, nothing else. So you can do this way also. Clear? This is again an important property. Next one. Next is what? A to b fx dx. A to b fx dx can also be written as f of a plus b minus x. Clear? What we have done? whenever we are having a function fx and the limit is a to b, you can add these two limits and subtract it with x. So a plus b minus x dx, it will give you the same answer. We will apply these properties and I will let you know, because these properties, now just see, next property is the same. Next property is the same. 0 to a fx dx. So it can be written as f of a minus x. Why? Because integration 0 to a f of 0 plus a 0 plus a minus x. 0 plus a minus x is what? A minus x only. This same property has an extension when this a is equal to 0. This means a lower limit. We call this also I didn't told you, this we are having a to b. This is called the lower limit. This is called the upper limit. Yeah. So the same property extension is there. Here we are having the lower limit as 0. So whenever the lower limit will be 0, this part will be 0. So you will have, instead of b, here we are having a, so a minus x it comes. Clear? So next property is the same. Please keep in mind all the properties. Then your next property is what? 0 to 2a. 0 to 2a fx dx is equal to 0 to a. Again we have divided it. Now what we have done, 0 to a fx and 0 to a f of 2a minus x. Clear? The property 0 to a fx 2a fx dx is 0 to a fx plus 0 to a f of 2a minus x. Now here, if your f of x is equal to f of 2a minus x, suppose in some questions you will get that fx is equal to f of 2a minus x, then what you are going to get, this will be equal to 2 times 0 to a fx. If this is so, if fx is equal to f of 2a minus x. But if your fx is equal to minus of 2 f of 2a minus x minus x, then what we can say? We can say this value will be equal to 0. So it depends what, either you can use this way also, but if you have the condition that fx is equal to f of 2a minus x, then you can say f of x is equal to f of 2a minus x. So we can write here also fx. So 0 to a fx plus 0 to a fx will be what? 2 times 0 to a fx. But if this is minus of fx, so this will get cancelled. This will be positive value. This will be negative value. So they will get cancelled. So this is your fifth property. Then your sixth property is that this only they have explained. I told you earlier only in fifth property only I have told you the extension. Just see this. 0 to 2 fx dx is equal to 2 times 0 to a fx dx when f of 2a minus x is equal to f of x, and it is 0 when f of 2a minus x is equal to f of minus x. Clear? Is that clear? Then next property is your, next one is what? This is an important property. This will be used many times. Minus a to a fx dx is equal to 2 times 0 to a fx dx when fx is an even function. Now what you will say, what is an even function? Even function means what? Fx is equal to f of minus x. Fx is equal to f of minus x. Then it will be like, if you see, and fx odd function is what? Fx is equal to minus of f. Sorry, this will be plus. Fx is equal to f of minus x. Wait a minute. Even function means what? F of x is equal to f of minus x, and here it means odd function means f of x is equal to minus of f. Clear? So whenever you have an even function, or we will do questions, then you will understand, but you should know these properties. That's why I've told you. Now come to the questions. Come to the questions. We'll use the properties and you will learn better in a better way. Yes, your question number 65 is what? 0 to pi by 4. It is 0 to pi by 4 sine 2x. It's very simple. You all know the integration of, first of all, what you have to do? You have to do sine 2x integration. Your integration of sine 2x will be equal to what? Either you do it directly, or what they have done, 2 sine x cos x. They have written 2 sine x cos x. Now, when you are having 2 sine x cos x, what you can put? Sine x is equal to t, and then cos x dx is equal to dt. Cos x dx will be equal to dt. So what you will get? 0 to pi by 4 sin x is equal to t. So 2 into sin x is t into dt. You can do it directly also. Yeah. So 2t dt. So you will have what? What you will get? Leave this limit. 2 times t square by 2. 2 times t square by 2. Integration of t will be what? T square by 2. Now this 2 will get cancelled with 2. You will get only t square. And the limit is from 0 to pi by 4. Now just put the limit. What you will get? 0 to now wait a minute, one more thing is there. Just see, when we are taking the limit, we are changing it to sine t, then the limit will also change. Now x is equal to what we were having, sine 2x, so limit was of x. Now the limit will be of t. So when x is 0, when x will be tending to 0, then sine x will tend to, sine 0 will tend to 0. When x is tending to pi by 4, then sine pi by 4, sine pi by 4 will tend to, sine pi by 4 is what? 1 upon root 2. So the limit will also change. Now the question will be what? 0 to 1 by root 2, 2 times t dt. This will be your question. Clear? Now again what it will be? Just see what it will be. Sorry. This will be 2 times t square by 2. Clear? So this 2 will get cancelled with 2. You will get t square, and then limit is 0 to 1 by root 2. Now you can put the value of 1 by root 2 in t. The value of t as 1 by root 2 first. 1 by root 2 whole square, t square minus 0 square will be 0 only. So it will be what? 1 by 2. The answer will be 1 by 2. Is that clear? Next is, come to the next question. If you have any problem, come to the chat box and ask. Next is 0 to pi by 2 cos 2x. Now earlier also you should have done it directly also, but they have given substitution. So here you can do directly. Just see what they have, different methods they have told, nothing else. Cos 2x integration is what? Sin 2x by 2. Clear? We all know. And then 0 to pi by 2, just put the limit. Half as it is. Sin 2x 0 to pi by 2, sin 2 times pi by 2 minus sin 0. Sin 2 times pi by 2, x is what? Pi by 2 minus sin of x is 0. Now just see, sin pi 0 minus 0, you will get the value 0. Clear? So here also you can apply another method, cos 2 theta is equal to 2 cos square theta, but it will become more difficult then. Clear? Next, e to the power of x. Very easy question. Integration of e to the power of x is what? E to the power of x. And then from 4 to 5. So you will get what? E to the power of 5 minus e to the power of 4. This can be written e to the power of 4 common, e minus 1. Clear? Or you write this way also, then also it will be correct. Now you just see where we are not applying anywhere 0 plus c. We are not putting plus c anywhere. Clear? The next part, next question. Come to the next question. Question number 68. Now this is what? Again a very simple question. Still now we are not moving to the properties. We are doing direct question, so that you should know first of all how to apply the limits also. Yeah. So here we are having 0 to pi by 4 10x. 0 to pi by 4 10x. So the integration of 10x we all know is log of minus log of cos x, or you can say log of sec x. We have written, so don't get confused, log of sec x or log of minus log of cos x. Now you apply the formula 0 to pi by 4. So minus log of cos of pi by 4 minus, again just see, this minus you can take common also, so that you should not get confused. So if we are taking this minus common, here you will have what? This sign will be what? This will be plus. Yeah, minus of log of cos 0. Yeah, it's your wish, you can do in any way. Just cos pi by 4 is what? Cos pi by 4 1 by root 2. So minus log of 1 by root 2 plus cos 0 is 1, plus minus into minus plus log 1. Now you can write this way also. Log 1 is, you know, the value of log 1 is always 0. So you can eliminate this. Clear? And you know that log m to the power of n is what? N log m. These all properties you all know. Clear? So we can write this as what? 1 by 2 to the power of half. We can write this 1 by root 2 as this way, 1 by 2 to the power of half. So they have written half log 2. Clear? Then next is just see this question. Question number 69. Same thing we have to do. The integration part we have done already. So we don't have to do integration part again. Now just see, we are having the integration from 2 to 3. Lower limit is 2, upper limit is 3, x square minus 1. This is the formula of 1 upon x square minus a square dx. What is the formula of x square minus a square? Log of 1 upon 2a. What is the formula? 1 upon 2a log of what is x minus a upon x plus a. This formula you have to apply, nothing else you have to do. So 1 upon 2a, what will be 1 upon 2a? Just see. Wait a minute. 1 upon 2a, 1 upon 2, a is what? 1 upon 2 log of x minus 1 upon x plus 1. Now limit is from 2 to 3. Only the thing is you have to apply the limit. Now how we will apply the limit? Just see. 1 upon 2 log of, first we will have 3 minus 1 by 3 plus 1 minus half of log. Now the limit 2 will be applied, 2 minus 1 by 2 plus 1. So what you are going to get? Half log 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 will be 2 by 4. This will be what? This value will be what? 2 by 4. That can be written as 1 by 2 minus half log 2 minus 1 is 1 upon 3. Clear? That is equal to 1 upon 2. This. So you can take 1 by 2 common. Now what you can do? Log of 1 minus log of 2 minus log of 1. Why they have done this? This will be what? 1 upon 2. So 1 upon 2, log of 1 upon 2 can be written as log of 1 by 2. Wait a minute, let me clear it up. Log of 1 by 2 can be written as log of 1 minus log of 2. Can we write this way? Log of a by b is what? Log of a minus log of b. This is the property. So log of 1, this can be written as log of 1 minus log of 2, and this can be written as minus log of 1. Minus of minus will be plus log of 3. Half is taken outside. Now this minus log 1 plus log 1 will get cancelled. वैसे भी log 1 is 0. Then you will get log 3 minus log 2. So log 3 minus log 2 can be written as log 3 upon 2. Half log 3 upon. Half is outside only. Clear? Then come to the next question. Question number 70. It is 0 to pi by 2 cos square x dx. Now cos square x dx, we have done the integration. We cannot do it directly. So what we can write? We can use the formula cos 2 theta. What is the formula of cos 2 theta? Cos 2 theta is equal to 2 cos square theta minus 1. So from here we can get 2 cos square theta is equal to cos 2 theta. This we can, this minus 1 will be removed from here. Sorry. And you will have cos 2 theta plus 1. We will take minus 1, that's this side. So we'll have cos 2 theta plus 1. Now again we will remove this 2 from here. So we'll get what? Upon 2. So cos 2 theta, cos square theta can be written as cos 2 theta plus 1 by 2. That's they have written. Yeah. So 0 to pi by 2 cos square x will be equal to 0 to pi by 2 cos square x will be cos 2 theta plus 1 by 2. Now you can separate them, cos 2x plus 1 by 2 1 dx. You know the integration. Just now we have done the integration of this. Wait a minute. Just now we have done the integration. So it will be what? Cos 2x will be sin 2x by 2 plus 1 by 2 x. Now you just put the limit and get the answer. You will get the answer as, pi by 4. Clear? That is all. I think so. It's time. If you have any problem, come to the chat box. Otherwise, we can leave. Is there any problem? Come to the chat box. Anyone? Yes, anyone having any problem? Mohammad, Laksh, Anshuman, any problem? Okay then. No, ma'am. Nachiketa. Okay. Thank you, class. Now I think so. We should leave. It's time.